Danny Flexon here for SecondsOut. Like to be joined by Hosea Burton and his trainer, of course, Joe Gallagher. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Both answer at the same time, it's fine. Big fight, Hosea. British title. Obviously, you've won it before, but how much do you feel differently this time compared to the first challenge?
Well, it was a long time ago, 5 years ago now. I feel I'm a fully fledged man now, and I'm totally ready for it.
And Joe, how do you kind of sum it up in terms of the style match on the night between Hosea and Dan Azeez?
Listen, it's a very good fight. You've got an exciting kid coming through, prospect, worked his way up well, had a few good wins, won the English title, and he's coming out of the fight with his tail up. Good fighter, good box puncher. And you've got Hosea Burton. I think this is his 29th fight, former British champion. He's here again to try and make a bit of history, becoming a two-time world champion. Height, reach.
Two-time British.
That's what I said. What did I say? That's a two-time British champion. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah. So, no, definitely. It's an exciting fight, and for me, it's the fight of the night on the card.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hosea, what do you make of Dan Azeez? What do you assess as kind of his key strengths and weaknesses?
He's a good little fighter. He comes forward. He likes to throw the jab. He likes to work inside well. He's not a bad little, well-rounded fighter.
What do you think gives you the edge in the fight? What are your advantages?
I've got experience over him, and I've got, in my opinion, a better brain, and I just think I'm an all-round better fighter than Dan Azeez.
Joe, I don't want to make it awkward because he's sitting right next to you, but how would you compare the Hosea Burton of now to the one of, say, 5 years ago?
Listen, he's a lot more cute, he's a lot more experienced, a lot more ring craft. He's been in around the game a long time, he's fought on the bigger stage, and mentally a lot tougher now than he was 4 or 5 years ago as well. The first time he won the British title, knocking out Miles Shinkwin, he's a better all-round fighter now.
And Hosea, you obviously went out to Latvia memorably, didn't go your way on the night, but in kind of now, do you look at it as a good experience, kind of character building experience?
No, to be honest. I just think I got stitched up all the way around going to Latvia. I should have never had to go to Latvia. It was an English competition or a British competition. It should have been in England. The final was in England against two foreign opponents. So I just think it was unfair. It was just a way of buying him a ticket to the final.
Fair enough. Joe, I have to ask you, because we're talking about light heavyweights, some reports came out yesterday, you can confirm or deny, Callum Johnson challenging Joe Smith Jr. for the WBO belt in January. What can you tell us about that?
Nothing. There's nothing to confirm yet as far as I'm aware of, so that's it.
If that fight were to take place, how do you think those two guys would match up?
It's a great fight. It's a great fight, for fan-friendly fight. Both of them can punch. And I could see why there's an appetite for that fight to be made, and if Callum Johnson gets it, I'm sure it's got to be a good fight.
And Hosea, training alongside someone like Callum Johnson, who may or may not be on the cusp of another world title shot, what does that do for you?
Not a lot really. It doesn't give me a world title fight, but it's nice to have him around the gym. He's a nice lad. He trains hard. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him go out there and win a world title.
Do you guys spar?
We used to spar quite a bit, yeah.
Why not so much now?
Just because we've got different opponents and styles,
And how does he kind of measure up with other sparring partners you've had and other people you've been in the ring with competitively?
Callum Johnson is a beast, He's he can box, he can fight, He's just a good man, So he's worthy of a world title, and he's as good as sparring I've had. So.
And Joe, another big opportunity coming up for Paul Butler as well, I believe.
Yeah, Paul Butler, December 11th in Dubai against Casemiro. It's a tough fight. Paul's training well, and we're just waiting to see how it goes now. Obviously, we're hoping that WADA, whichever one it is, are doing the drug tests. That's what Paul's insisted on having when the fight was made. We obviously knew the Denari was insisting as well, Casemiro. So as long as everything's been done, it should make for a good fight in Dubai. Obviously Paul's the underdog, but Paul's performing very well in the gymnasium at the moment.
And that one's out in Dubai. If the Johnson fight happens, that will be out in the US. Does your strategy or your approach change at all when you have to fight on away turf?
No, not at all. When you're fighting away, you've got to go and fight and win for the knockout. You've not got to get anything neutral ground with Paul in Dubai, but for Callum Johnson, if it was to happen, and where it happened, most probably in America, then you've got to go and knock out. You've not got to get anything on points. We've seen that before. I've been there before. Macklin Stern, Paul Smith, Abraham. You've got to go and get the knockout, and then you take control yourself.
Now, just before I let you guys go, there was some breaking news earlier this week that Canelo, someone Joe particularly knows well, stepping up to cruiserweight for his next fight. Hosea, we'll start with you. What do you make of Canelo's move to £200 or 190, depending on who you believe at the moment?
I think Canelo's brilliant. The only thing that can beat him is size. Will this be a step too far? Who knows? But it'd be nice to see him win another world title, because I think he's the money man in boxing, isn't he?
Joe, what do you make of the step, and also how much chance do you give Makabu of upsetting the odds, if you like, even though he's the bigger guy?
Yeah, listen, Makabu, obviously at the time, when he fought Tony Bellew, he dropped Tony, got up and lost by a great shot that Tony threw and won it. He's come back, regrouped and won a world title. He's stiff opposition, he's solid, punches, and it'd be a good fight and an exciting fight. I just think Canelo's boxing IQ and ring craft are just a little too much, but it'll be interesting to see. It's all right saying he carries power, but it's landing that power on Canelo. He's very good and making sure you don't hit him. So Canelo will be confident of winning that fight. He wouldn't take it if he didn't think he'd win it.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys, and good luck on Saturday.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, man. Thank you.